Actually filming in the place where I did my first training ever, like in 2022. So it's kind of like back to origins. I'm happy to be here. I was working with a few friends before. We did a few missions since 2022. I already met Victoria, Bogdan, Dr. Steve, and I think it was the end of 2022. I had a text like, do you want to join a cool team? I'm like, sure. Let's talk about that. And we had a team call. I remember that Finch specifically was asking, what if we swear? What if we use bad words? I'm like, I will translate you literally. And he was like, cool, let's do it. And from the first week of the first mission, when I joined Força in March 2023, we got along and everything's good, and we're still together, and we are like a family now. I have actually a few favorite topics. I think the most favorites are tourniquet application and blood transfusion. Because if we simplify the care for a patient for very basics, so we can say that you need to plug a hole, so close the bleeding, close the wound, the source of the bleeding, and then if you fill our reservoir what it should be filled with, blood, we will do like 80% of everything to save a life. But actually I want to add something, because when we did the video with Kyle, he gave his answer, but the last day before he left, he said something I want to share with everybody. I won't be able to say it so beautiful like he said, but I will try. So his thought was that it doesn't matter which topic we deliver, the most important is people. When they are open, when they are ready to learn, when they're eager for medical knowledge, we can find a way how to do it. We can find words, explanations, examples, and this is the most important, to be connected with people in a way we can explain them even very difficult advanced medical stuff. Ooh, so many favorite parts I have. I would say, I would share maybe no one else said before. We had a joke that we have 3 days rule. When we come to new group of people, we start to work with them. They can be very different. They can be just soldiers, volunteers, or even advanced medics. They don't know us. And on the 3rd day, we have this opening up, we have the bonding, the connection. They start to trust us. They start to get what we try to teach them, that we offer options, not answers, and they start to accept that, and then all the fun starts. For me, actually, 2 parts of Força missions are the hardest. First is when we say bye to each other, when we know that we will meet in a few weeks or few months, still the end part, and we separating and going homes or doing some other stuff, is always very sad and emotional, because every time we get in closer and closer, and it's hard to say bye even for a while to each other. We cry, we hug, we say I love you so much, and it's so genuine. It's not like I love you, that's all. No, it's true feeling for all of us, and for me it's pretty hard to like accept this is the end for now and I have to do something else. But the other part, which is very hard to me, is when we meet people, we start to teach them. We actually don't know if we see them again later, if they will be alive. The idea that we create a bond, connection with someone, maybe not be able to live longer because of the war, this is really devastating to me. we had pretty interesting stories before from other teammates. I want to share one. I cannot explain everything what was happening because of the security and safety issues, but I will give general information. So we were training a group of people in one of Donetsk region areas. It was just a field, let's call it tree line between fields. And this is the area when different units were training. There was a shooting range, we had a medical part on other side, but it was close. And looks like the shooting range wasn't secured enough. And we had a friendly fire event. I remember I was laying down on the ground playing a patient. Dr. Steven Bogdan was standing just in front of me explaining, I think with packing or something. And there was a big tree in front of me and the few students standing next to this tree. And at some point we hear the sound and we hear the crack of the bullet goes inside the tree. We fell down and we continued, and we had few other shoots like above our heads. We continued and like, okay, maybe it will be better. Then we decided to hide behind the car. We spent some time waiting and we continued the day. Actually, we finished the training. The next day we had different tree line, the same area but like just a bit different place. Shooting range was on the other side from this tree line. In the middle of the day, when we kind of relaxed, because it cannot happen again, right? It was yesterday. So we kind of like released our gear, took out our helmets, like hanging around in the break, and we hear these bullets coming again, they're like shooting above our heads, like damn. So we hid in the small, like a pit in the grass. We were joking maybe we will die because of tick bites, not because of the bullets. Luckily no one had a tick bite, but 2 days in a row we had these accidents when we had like pretty big bullets above our heads. It's about 50k. Like I'm not sure which weapon they used, but and few of our students, they just on the second they just jumped to the car like we are gonna punch them for this. Luckily with no one hurt, but it was pretty adrenaline and scary moment for us. And one of our teammates, Bogdan, he actually covered other teammate with his body because she wasn't in the vest, but he wasn't. We still think was the most altruistic, the most idealistic step he could do for his body, his friend. We have so many rituals. I would say maybe one of my favorite rituals when we have is breaking moments when we're tired, emotional, and somehow we manage to support each other when we start to whine or like complain or something, and we turn it to the joke. Everything is hard. It can be really stressful, it can be physically challenging, but somehow all of us, every one of us can turn all the challenges to a joke. I mean, not a bad way, it's just like full of joy. Anyways, like we find a way to talk to each other how to make us start to laugh, and it turns to like a good vibe, good energy, and we help each other to overcome these difficulties. I think this, I can say that it's a ritual. It's not something we do like we put some effort to this, but it's so natural how it happens when someone starts to joke and we start to laugh, and everything's not so bad.